3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and it's time for the In and Out Weekly Comics Pull List. Number 28, episode 28 for the year. It is July 3rd, and as always, we've got Stan the Man joining us, along with his pal Forky. Forky is everyone's pal. If you don't know who Forky is, go watch Toy Story 4. If you don't like Toy Story movies, then you don't have a soul. And I don't mean that offensively. I still care about you, even if you're soulless. But Toy Story 4 is my favorite Toy Story. They're all fantastic. There is no wrong pick for favorite Toy Story. Most people say 3. But this one holds a special subjective place in my heart. Stan's always bringing a good drink with me. Thanks, Stan. Appreciate it. I got to keep the palate wet for the talking on the YouTubes. All right, so there's my iPad. Surprise. Let's cover the basics. We always cover the number ones from Marvel every week. And man, after a little bit of a hiatus, Marvel was toning down some things, making you feel like they're just pushing comics and not trying to just gimmick you with constant stream of number ones. And as soon as you're, you let down your guard, boom, they're back with a vengeance. 5 new number ones this week, not counting any annuals. I think there was 2, maybe 3 annuals that are number ones. And of course, the True Believers, I don't count those. There were several True Believer number ones, but just new number one comics. We've got Star Wars Target Vader. Now, we just had a Vader Star Wars book recently. It was the Star Wars Age of Rebellion Vader. My understanding is that's the best selling of the Age of Rebellion books. No surprise, Vader sells. So what do they do? They release another number one Vader book. There are no number 2s of these. It's just constant streams of number 1s to get the suckers. Now, moving on to Fantastic Four. The book sucks. No one wants it. This is not the Fantastic Four we wanted. Dan Slott. It's Dan Slott. They should have put Chip Zdarsky on it, but Marvel doesn't care about you. Fantastic Four, The Prodigal Son. Trying to introduce a new character. It's a number 1. Put those 2 things together, and you've got speculator craze. It's only $3.99. Get this. Prodigal Son will probably be the next Deadpool, and you'll miss out. Star Wars Age of Resistance. I called it. I've been telling you guys when they were doing this, when they did the Age of, what was the other one? Age of Republic, and then they moved to Age of Rebellion. I was like, they're gonna do a modern day Star Wars, Disney Star Wars Age of Resistance, and here it is. I didn't care. I cared so little about this, I didn't even write the full title. It's Age of Resistance Finn number 1. Because, everyone's dying for a Finn comic. Get them while they're hot. There's going to be plenty of number 1s. I wonder what they're going to do after they run out of Age of Resistance character. Oh, I can't wait for the Holdo. Admiral Holdo number 1. Oh, that's going to be fantastic. What else can they do for Age of Resistance that we just can't wait for? Oh, who cares? Arrow number 1. So Arrow is Marvel's racist attempts to cater towards Asian people by making a generic Asian character. Even the Chinese hate Arrow. I guess it was launched in China first. No one cares about this, but you might because it's a number 1. And 20 years down the road, comic collectors will be dying to find this book. No, they won't. Don't fall for this crap. And then finally at $4.99, we're getting Captain America and the Invaders, the Bahamas Triangle. What is with Marvel and all these massively long titles and subtitles? This is part of Marvel's 80th anniversary, which is not a real 80th anniversary. They're just tying the comic book lines that Marvel bought back in the day. So to try to make their history feel like they've been around as long as DC, it's really stupid. But here we go. You're going to get some big anniversary book that no one's going to care about. And there you go. 5 books, $20.95. That is just a few dollars shy of what my entire pull list was today, which we'll get to in a second. Next, we've got the news. This just broke yesterday. I don't even have much info to go on, but my boy Wes, Thinking Critical, where is he? I just saw his video. I watched it. Oh, I didn't scroll down far enough. Here it is. Thinking Critical. Kirkman's Walking Dead canceled. Gaiman's Sandman on Netflix. This is a cool video.
The loss of the walking...
Shush, Wes. This is my video. Well, I got nothing to show. He did a cool video. He talks about The Walking Dead being canceled. Like I said, it just broke. I don't really know who else to point at. He's the only person that's got a video on it. Breaking news. So I'm sure by now, I watched this yesterday. I'm sure by now that this is, more people are covering it. I'm still trying to figure out more information, but it seems like at this point, no one knows why it was canceled, or for sure. There's speculation that it has to do with a lawsuit. Kirkman's in a couple of lawsuits, one with AMC, one with one of the original creators, the original, first few issues of Walking Dead. That maybe these court decisions and things forced a hand or forced a play of Kirkman just being like, forget it, I'm canceling this. Others have speculated, and this kind of goes along what I might believe, is that Kirkman, this is just a big trick by Kirkman. And I don't mean a trick like in a scam, but a trick like what he did with Die, Die, Die. Just launched it. Didn't submit it through Diamond or anything. He just shipped copies to all the stores. If you ordered Oblivion Song, you got, surprise, an equal number of shipments of Die, Die, Die. And no one knew it was coming. No one even found out until the day before release. And it was this great... I loved it. I did a whole thing. If you go back to my Die, Die, Die 1 video, it was a really cool marketing thing. I like that Kirkman wants to surprise readers, and he really cares. I honestly, my speculation is leading towards that all of the issues after, 193 was the last issue. All the issues that are solicited, like 194, 195, were just fake issues. Those were never going to exist. And Kirkman plotted this end. Heavy spoiler alert. Close your ears if you don't want to hear big spoilers about Walking Dead, but if you're a big fan, you probably didn't know this. I got it spoiled to me. Fast forward 30 seconds. Rick Grimes dies in the last issue, 192. So Kirkman had always said he was going to end, or that character wouldn't die. And so now that he's gone, I feel like this is the ending that he wanted. And he just kind of faked it, made it seem like this was going to go on forever so that he could just pull the plug suddenly and have this massive shock ending, this type done. And I feel that's the way a book should kind of go out. Maybe not every book. Maybe some books should go out with massive fanfare and all, but just boom. I think it's fitting. It fits his MO. That's all I know right now. If you know more information, update me. If you want to know more too, please watch my boy Thinking Critical, his video, and you'll get more. I didn't really cover that much. Also in the news, why don't I cover SJW books? I guess that's not really news, it's more of a question. I don't cover SJW books or progressive books or whatever for one big reason. Now, I do actually kind of cover them if they're Marvel or DC. I don't want to say I'm an original Comicsgate person, but I subscribe to the original Comicsgate movement, which is don't politicize our books and act professionally to the fan base. This really applies mostly to the big two. If you are an independent creator and you want to go make a book, like the Ocasio-Cortez, if you know about that comic that came out by some little indie thing, whatever, it was Ocasio-Cortez, like, no problems with that, whatever. Like, I 100% defend every creator's rights to write what they want. You want to be super political? Go do it. If you're going to do some independent book and it's just hardcore, ultra-leftist SJW, do it. Like, I don't agree with your ideas, but I 100% support your right to express your ideas. That's what art exists for. I even support the Nazi art. Oh shit, I'm treading dangerous waters right now. But for that same reason, I don't support their ideas. But I supported their right to express their ideas, no matter how sickening they are. If you ever reach a point where you think that certain ideas shouldn't be allowed, then you can't honestly stand and expect your ideas to be allowed. No one gets to choose, right? As a society, we can come to consensuses and say, that's abhorrent and we don't like it, and not. But the market of ideas, if we all allow everyone to express, bad ideas will hang themselves, right? You just shine a light to horrible ideas, and that's all that's needed. So we don't need some elite group of social justice warriors telling us what we can and can't read or can and can't listen to or anything like that. We don't need that. Now, where I come from is with Comicsgate, like Peter Parker shouldn't be spreading his feminist agenda to readers. That's where I don't like. And that's where I'll continue to stand if I read any mainstream Marvel or DC books that do that. I'll talk about that. I wholeheartedly believe in that. Creators don't have the right to use corporate properties in changing these characters that have been around for decades and decades. If they want to go move to Image, these creators, and create their own book and do, God bless. Go do what you want to do, and the free market will sort it out, right? Magdalene Visaggio can go and write her books and sell 700 copies. I don't have to worry about her stupid books because the market sorts it out. I do have to worry, though, if she starts writing stuff for Marvel or DC. And this is why these SJWs, they don't want to go do their own stuff. They can't. They will not sell. No one wants. But Captain America does sell. So Ta-Nehisi Coates can spread his racism through Captain America, but he couldn't do it on his own book. You see what I'm saying? They're using pop culture that they don't have really a right to do. So why don't I support these books? Or why don't I cover these books? Because I don't care. If Chelsea Kane wants to go do Man-Eaters, I think it's a stupid book, but more power to you. Anyways, so I'm pointing here, not to Thinking Critical, I already covered you, boy. Just Some Guy did a great video. No, I don't want to watch it. Oh, see, now I got to listen to this stupid ad of Marvel. Just Some Guy did this great video about Ignited, how to become a teenage SJW dictator. He covers this sort of stuff great. So if you're into, like, this is a great video. He talks about basically these characters in this Ignited are like terrorists, but because Mark Waid and Kwanzaa are far left ideologues, they can't tell the difference between terrorists, villains, and heroes. That's terrorists and villains are their heroes. So it's really ironic. Just Some Guy does way better videos than I do. Puts a lot of effort into it. If you want to watch content like that I don't talk about, although I just rattled on for 20 minutes. No, not that long. Shout out to that. Watch those two videos. Also, just while I'm on my screen here, shout out again to Wes, Canto 1 review. This might be, if you're looking for something new and interesting, check out this review. And also shout out to my boy, Sergeant Bats, Hawkman. I also did a review on Hawkman that's in the can, hasn't been published yet, but yeah, hashtag read Hawkman. Yeah. All right, so moving on to the video. Eric Breen, I broke a record. It's now 14 minutes before the burger is even exposed. Oh my goodness. Oh, man, I gotta eat this sucker right away. I gotta tell you, sorry for this video going up late. I went to In-N-Out. My In-N-Out was gone. They moved. So I drove to In-N-Out's. The building's all blank, windows covered. I was like, what the hell? So then they moved to this new location. It was about a mile away. So I kind of knew where it was to get to it, but there's all this construction thing going on. So I went to get, I missed the right turn and then went all the way around the block, and you can't access it going one direction. You can only access it one way. If you're going the opposite direction, you got to go way out of your way. I ended up going up the freeway again and coming back down. It's like a nightmare to get to it. On the plus side, I think everyone was having this problem because it was like right at noon and there was like 3 cars in the drive. Normally there'd be like 15 cars in the drive, but In-N-Out's super fast. That's another thing that's amazing. They make all the burgers fresh to order, and there can be 15 cars in the drive-thru, and you'll still get your burger within like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go munch this thing and maybe give a bite to these guys, down some Coke, and we're gonna talk about comics this week. Thanks. All right, I'm back. Oh, I'm out of drink though, Stan. You gotta go. Would you mind going to the fridge? Maybe filling up a. No. I'll get it myself, buddy. Thanks. So, hey, this is the new comics of the week. Here's my Comixology account here. Thought I would kind of try something new to add to the content here. This is the comics that came out this week. I'm not going to cover all of them because who cares about Sailor Moon, right? Or things like that. So just kind of what caught my eye and talk about it. Walking Dead. I did not get this. I wanted to. I just found out yesterday. Obviously, we talked about this. It's the last issue. Shops didn't know. And it sold out in 5 minutes at my shop. I got there, I think, 45 minutes after opening. I should have just went there at 10, got myself a copy. They said they're gonna, if they can get another copy or whatever, they'll hold it for me. But here's the thing, from what I understand, this is an oversized issue with trade binding, and let's see, does it say anything on here? Yeah, 81 pages. It's 81 pages, and it's a trade binding. So this is bigger than Batman Last Night on Earth. Okay, $3.99. Robert Kirkman doesn't F over his customers. Say what you will about Image, but at least with Skybound, $3.99, almost 4 issues. If a comic is 20 to 22 pages, it's 81. It's a huge issue, $3.99. Remember this when Spider-Man 25 comes out in a week or two or whatever, and it's $8, and it's smaller than this. Just remember how Marvel screws you. This caught my eye in the store. No one left to fight, and I was like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's Aubrey Citizen. Yeah, no fans left to buy that book. Doom Patrol. I was like, oh man, Doom Patrol. Maybe I'll get this because I really liked Umbrella Academy, the first story arc. Gerard Way wrote fantastic story. Loved Umbrella Academy's writing. Doom Patrol, as I was reading Umbrella Academy, I was like, this feels kind of like a Doom Patrol. I was like, Gerard Way. But then I'm like, oh, it's DC Young Animal. This is going to be bizarro and weird, and this art is... And I was like, why? DC, first of all, you said you're dropping all your imprints, and you're consolidating it so they don't confuse people. I still don't understand a year later what the hell Young Animal is. Who is this for? Is it for kids? Like you think like, oh, it's a kid's imprint. No, it's not. It's sort of like a Vertigo imprint, but it's not a Vertigo imprint. Because Doom Patrol, I think, used to be Vertigo for a while, I think. But it's certainly not DC imprint, and that's why if I want to read Doom Patrol, I want to read in the DC continuity. I want these characters. I don't want to read this. This is just an Image book now. I don't care about this. Stupid. Arrow, whatever. This is just Marvel saying, "Hey, Asians, you like Asian characters, right? Right? If we make characters Asian, then you'll see, oh, that looks like me, so I'll buy it." No, they don't do that. They like quality. This is a shout out to my boy Quirks, Comic Quirks. I call him Jimmy because he's Superman's pal. Let's get the big view. Buddy, did you see this in the comic book store? Did you go to the comic book store today, or were you too busy working? Jason Aaron is writing a sci-fi story. It's got this great cover. I don't know who this artist is on this cover, but it's like the art looks pretty good. I'm not a Jason Aaron fan, but I saw this. At first, I was like, oh, this is right up my alley. Oh, it's Jason Aaron. But Quirks is a big Jason Aaron fan, and so I thought I'd point this out, see if he was Stephen Green did the cover and the art. Okay, cool. I like when the artist does the cover and the interior. That's the way it should be. There's also, buddy, if you are going to get this, there's a Mike Mignola variant cover that I even like better than this. But it's up to you. Oh, and look, here we got Lois Lane. That's what everyone's been dying for, with Superman failing, you know, like never before. Bendis is just killing Superman, making everyone hate Superman. What we want now is Superman's bitchy wife, Lois Lane. It's no longer Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. It should be Superman's bitch wife, Lois Lane. Apparently, you can't read here, but she uncovered the most dangerous secret in the DC universe. Now she just has to prove it. Wasn't it just a couple of issues ago we were seeing in Action Comics, Superman, the most dangerous secret in the universe, and then we still haven't seen anything because Bendis doesn't write plots and nothing gets resolved. So, whatever. Brubaker's better. Is this Brubaker? No, it's Rucka. Brubaker. We could be so lucky. Sorry, Greg Rucka. Even Greg Rucka's probably better than Bendis, so. Stay away from these these YA graphic novel. I read the Super Sons one. Oh my god, it is like stab your eyes out bad. Like, I'd rather read Bendis Superman than that. That's how bad it is. Brian Edward Hill's got a new Postal book. People like Brian Edward Hill, like me. Deceased, I read the issue 1, did a review on it. I didn't expect it to be good because I don't like Tom Taylor, but it surprisingly was good. It had some thrills. You can watch my review. I'm not enough to buy the book. I'm not going to buy anything by Taylor, but I'll give credit where credit's due. Here's a Marvel Exploit Invader book. Who cares? Monstrous book. Book 1 is out. I saw this in the store. It is hefty. It is thick. Like, it's thick. Like, as thick as my In-N-Out box. It's massive. It's $50 cover price. But you get a lot of comics in there. Uncanny X-Men is just waiting to be canceled because remember, Marvel knew they were going to cancel this when they launched it. 6 months before they launched this, they knew they were going to cancel it. They lied to everyone. They're still releasing issues. They're keep buying the X-Men. This doesn't matter. Hickman is going to come here and erase all this. It was canceled. I don't even understand why anyone's continuing to buy it. This was interesting. In the store, Transformers came... I love Transformers as a kid. I'm not a Transformers and comic fan, but if you are, this I found that was interesting. It had a pack for the new Transformers collectible card game, but it comes in a bag, and then there's a 1 pack of cards, which probably is the same price as a comic. You know, like if you buy a pack of Magic cards, like $4. So they included it, but the comic's only $3.99. I was like, that's really cool. Like, if this were Marvel, they'd find a way to charge you $8. So bravo on you, IDW, for cross-marketing the collectible card game with Transformers, because this is what Marvel should be doing with their movies and stuff, and cross-marketing. So I want to give the point out to that. Immortal Hulk is doing pretty well. It's not quite as well as it was. There was a big speculator boom on this for a minute. Shot the title up to about 90,000 copies, overtook Batman, but it's down in the 70s again, which is still nothing to cry about for a Hulk book. Everyone's thinking, though, that it's like, oh, Hulk is so good that it's not better. Batman's outselling Hulk again. But still, Hulk is solid. I don't read it. It's not my cup of tea, but people love it. Oh, here's the Nazi book that you can read. Just some guy's view on Ignited came out. Apparently, these kids go to a gun rally, attack the gun rally people because they support gun rights. But why are guns bad, but people who can like blow up cities with superpowers? Okay. TMNT Batman 3 is fantastic. I got the Eastman. Well, I'll cover that in a bit. Who cares about Fantastic Four? Oh, look, you can get Superman, Brian King. Brian King. God, geez. Brian Michael Bendis and Tom King melded together would be just terrifying. So here's this was out today. 2 stacks on the wall. And I was like, oh, this is the reprint of those Walmart books that everyone was afraid I'm not going to get my stories because I don't want to go to Walmart to buy comics. Here they are, and here is Tom King's Superman. Wow, no, I didn't want to click on it. So you can get that. Here you can get your Captain America Invaders one-shot. This is not the Chip Zdarsky book. I would not support this. Oh, you can get your Finn book. Everyone wants Finn comics. Can't get enough Finn. Super Sons. Let's see. Oh, Batgirl. Ooh. Pretty soon, if anyone's a Batgirl fan, prepare to get to cancel this book because they are putting Female Fury's Arthur Cecil Castellucci on here, and this is gonna go full on super feminist. Yeah, there's Female Furies. Yeah, it's over. Now she can go wreck something else. Conan the Beta Barbarian. This is Marvel's turning Conan into Sissy. Or you can go by older Conan where he's badass. Let's see. What else came out? Oh, I was tempted on this. I'm curious about Black Hammer. I can't afford to get new books and stuff, but this encyclopedia comes out, which they don't do enough in comics, which gives you like a lowdown of all the different characters and stuff. So if you're like new and you want to get yourself up to speed, you can get that. Facsimile edition of. I really feel old. They're making facsimile editions of comics I saw on the shelf. Can Dead Man Logan just die already? Really? Oh, Jesus, 12 issues. No one talks about these books because they suck. No one cares. Oh my God! Look at this. Look at this Savage Avengers. Look at this. Like, who drew this? I think Brian Finch drew this. He's an awesome artist. Is it Brian Finch? Dave? No, I'm getting my names mixed up. But then look at the colorist just ruined it by spray painting this paisley like pink and like seafoam green and just turned it into this freaking soy boy nonsense. No one wants to see. Conan is a male power fantasy. Look at the blood's not even blood. It's just black tar. It's like, oh, I just took my sword and I stuck it in a pit of oil. This is fucking awful. Awful. Oh, I think actually that's the Venom symbiote. But whatever. Stupid. Man-eaters. Talked about why I don't talk about that. What else came out today? See how many freaking comics come out? There are over 500 comics a month. There's so many. I got to find a better way to sort through this because Comixology, of course, is going to show everything that most stores won't even... Half of these books weren't even on the wall at my store. Go-Go Power Rangers. Oh, it's a trade. I wish I could sort this by no trades. Our boy Bats swears by Go-Go Power Rangers. I think the comics in the back here are just like the really indie stuff. They put all the DC and the the Marvel stuff up front. So yeah, that's it. So those are the comics that came out this week. Now let's get to mine. This will be a long video. Geez, sorry about that. All right, here's my receipt. $23.56. So objective achieved. I am under the $25. I almost went over because there was a Darwin Cook Justice League comic box, short box, but it was the Darwin. It was the new. It wasn't just. Yeah, it was New Frontier, but it also was Justice League, but it was in a comic box. And I was like, oh, so yeah. Let's put the receipt to the side. Let's dig into the issues. First up, we have, speaking of Justice League, we have Justice League. I am done with the... Well, I'm not done. That's stupid to say. I'll say I'm done with the variant covers. I really should have been this whole time. I like the trade dress. I like looking at my comic. I don't like this. I don't like how the trade dress was like pushed down so we can have the villain peeking over. It's kind of a cool look, but when you pull in your comic box, I don't know. Maybe that's just being picky. I miss the trade dress. I miss being able to like thumb through my comics in a box and see numbers. They always should have done that with the full art. Put the DC, put the number up here, like they did with White Knight. I don't know why they didn't do that. because DC is editorial stupid. That's why. So I like my covers to be reflective of the events going on in the book, and the full art books are just random nonsense most of the time. Sometimes they can be very beautiful, and sometimes they can just be meh. But what really ticked me over the edge was DC pulling this bullshit where now the variants are $1 more. I already paid $3.99 for my comic. I'm paying you $1 so you can make this cardboard stock cover. F you, DC. So, not you, Scott Snyder. You can't control that. Oh, this is James Tynion. Oh, here's another thing. It has a beautiful Art Adams Gorilla Grodd. It's a Gorilla Grodd face. That's another thing. These variants for the Year of the Villain, it's just a big freaking headshot. Whatever. I love Art Adams. But I put it back, and I got this one. I flipped through it. This art is terrible in here. It's like, what? So you're charging me $1 extra for this special Year of the Villain issue, and it's terrible nonsense art. Like, screw you, DC. Screw you. Speaking of screw you, I pulled this off. I've took this off my pull list, but I went to the store today and I couldn't resist, so I bought Green Lantern. I still kept under. Then Adventures of Super Sons number 12 is out, and that means it is done. It's both sad and a relief at the same time. It's a relief that it frees up my budget, but it's sad because this should never have gone. The original Super Sons book should still be ongoing, and it's fantastic. Everyone loved it. I had to eat a big plate of crow on that book. I used to make fun of people crying about it getting canceled, and then I read it. I was like, oh, yeah. Tomasi, plus Tomasi was on Superman. He was writing Superman and Super Sons. So in Superman, you got to read about Superman and John, and then Super Sons, you got to read John and his friend Damian and their adventures, and it just flowed perfectly and beautifully. It was the perfect mix. So sad. Speaking of perfect mix, Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I almost passed on this book, but I thought it over. Recommendations from my comic book store staff. They said, here, we pulled this book for you because you like Batman. And I was like, I do, but I don't like miniseries. And I talked about this in my review. I love these full art covers. I'm going to continue on these because the full art covers are Kevin Eastman art. And I love... No one should draw turtles but Kevin Eastman, in my opinion. Like, other people do them okay, but the way he does them is the best. And I just love seeing him draw Batman. Like, I wouldn't want this the other way around. I wouldn't want to see, like, a Batman artist do it just works perfectly. No insult to Freddie Williams, who does the interior art, and he is a fantastic pick to do these books. I'm very happy with the interior art, and I usually like the exterior artist on the cover too, but he's no Kevin Eastman, and Kevin Eastman's not going to do the art. So that's fine. Moving on into other indies, we've got the final issue of Exilium, king-sized finale. It's pretty thick. I don't think you can tell on this, but $1.99. Suck it, Marvel and DC. Also a thick book. It came out on a Wednesday. I buy these. I don't even read that came out on Wednesday. I'm not a big anthology person. I'm also not a big horror guy. I plan on reading these. I just never get around to it because I'm so backlogged. So it's not like I don't want to. It's low priority. But I support Peter Simeti, and they're only $1.99. And I have these comics, and I'm glad because I've been getting them since number 1. Speaking of number 1, I can't find number 1 to this because my comic store does not order alternate comics because reasons. No, it's just because the budget's tight and stores are going under and they don't think they can sell these. I've been trying to convince them, like, look, it's $1.50. I wish I was more well off. I would just offer to buy extra copies and then, have the store say, I'll buy any that you don't sell. Which would be a great thing. It's like, here, order 5 copies of this. If they don't sell, I'll buy them. I'm sure that they'll sell. I'm sure that they could sell a handful of copies. And finally, speaking of handful of copies and segues that make no sense whatsoever, Birthright is off a hiatus as of last issue. It's back. I haven't read the hiatus, but Birthright. If you watched the old Ash and Bats show channel, Ash and Bats show. If you watch that old show that I used to do with Sergeant Bats, we did a thing on the Birthright, the first whole trade paperback. This is a phenomenal book. It was so good, it prompted me to go and buy every single issue. It's a really cool series, right up my alley, even though I don't normally like fantasy in comic books. That's why I don't get things like Conan or other, like I like it in novel form and I like it in film, but this is a special book. This takes things and turns it on its head. It's a book about heroism and not heroism at the same time, and just really cool. So this is my thing. I blabbered on long enough. Try to get a picture over here without the glare. Which of these books do you think is gonna be the best? There's a bunch of good ones. There's no downers this week because Bendis is off the list. No more Bendis books. I do still get Batman though because Tom King's going away, so I'm not gonna break. I think I kind of should, and then pick them up as. Never mind. So I'm only getting good books pretty much now. What do you? I'm gonna say. I don't know. Birthright probably is gonna be my pick for the worst. Maybe Scrimshaw, or I don't know. Well, anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all those sorts of things. Please, if you don't like the video for whatever reason, and you're going to click the thumb down button, that's totally your right to do. I don't deserve thumbs up or anything like that. It's your feedback. But if you do thumbs down for any reason, throw in the comment why. If you're doing it just to troll, I guess, well, I can't stop you. But if there's something you don't like, oh, your video's too long, or you stutter too much, or I hate the sound of your voice, or whatever, tell me why you're thumbing down. It's always it's not aggravating, but it's perplexing when I look at my statistics where I'm like, oh, I got a thumb down on this video, but the person didn't say why. Can't improve. I can't do better if you don't tell me what I'm doing wrong. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. I know you can watch a lot of other things. I know this is a long video. Hopefully it filled up your time in a long car ride or a lunch break, or maybe you can just listen to it while you're doing a monotonous day job. Who knows? So I appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Stan and Forky also say goodbye.